this is Jenny, and I'm going to share a quick video showing me using the Crafters Workshop cookie and cake stencils. Actually, one of the stencils, it's called Harlequin, and it's a 6x6 pattern that is specially made, just came out this year for the used to be decorated. They're food safe stencils for cookies or cakes or anything else you could think of to use them for. I've actually used a couple before, so I did learn a couple things I thought I wanted to share. If you do not want to see me frost this cake, then skip ahead to 2 minutes and 45 seconds, and then that's where the stenciling will begin. So the first time I did one, I used one of the stencils that's a singular, it's not a pattern, it's just a singular element. It was the fleur-de-lis, and that's where I learned the main trick that I'm going to share with you. That's my husband. He's making the video, and I apologize. I did speed it up a good bit. I hope it's not making anybody too dizzy, but it's really, there's no need to see all of this. You saw me dye, it's just a cream cheese frosting, and I dyed it using this mauve kind of paste. And so it was actually for my daughter's birthday, which we had already celebrated, but she had some friends over, and so they dug into this cake, and I'm assuming that they probably thought it was pretty, but at this point they could have, they were like vultures. They, would have eaten anything. So what I learned was the most important thing for, at least for something sticky. Now, I live in the South, and the humidity affects everything as far as baking here, but the best thing to do was to pop it in the freezer. And we have a deep freeze that is freezes things really fast. So as soon as I get done frosting the cake, I pop it in the freezer for about half an hour, and that solidifies it enough to where if I lift up the stencil and when I put it down, it does not disturb the icing at all. It won't peel any of it up. It won't make a mess in any other way. And that's the best way I've learned to be able to do this. And I learned because through trial and error with the first one, which I didn't quite think about. But see, I wanted to kind of make sure it stays on there, and it does kind of stick to it a little bit. The first one I used a frosting that was white, and I used cocoa powder. This one is the pink, and I'm going to use just powdered sugar. Now, the other part of that was that the powdered sugar it does tend to absorb into the icing, so it didn't last, like all of the entire pattern didn't last until the next day when the girls ate it. I mean, it could all be seen, but some of it, because I didn't do it, I guess, heavy enough in some places, it was a little bit spotted. But it looked pretty nonetheless, and the best thing about this is that, as you can see, I'm pulling up the stencil with leaving no marks on the cake or the other icing whatsoever. And I'm just using a little mini sifting strainer I have, and just trying to be careful not to get it over the parts that are where the stencil is not. It does have this handy little tab on one side and another tab on the other side that you could use to hang them with. I have them actually all on a ring, and keep them in my kitchen. And so that is pretty much it. I'm going to go ahead and just get the rest of it covered and make sure that it's as solid as possible. And then I'm going to slow it down here to this is real time. So I took a chance by putting the stencil back on top and wanted to cover up just this one part again, just to be sure. I actually tried using a stencil, or sorry, like a shaker, like a cinnamon or sort of salt shaker. Sugar shaker for this, but it didn't work as well as just this little sifter. I felt like I had more control over it. So that's what I used. Thanks so much for stopping by. I hope you check out the other videos at the Crafters Workshop, and check out all of the things that you can do with these amazing fun stencils. And we will see you next time. Bye.